All right, welcome to our team call tonight. I'm going to talk to you guys about how I consistently started hitting Success Club. And before we do that, I just want to do a few announcements. We didn't have anybody rank advance today, but I want to make sure that you all know about, just a second. Super weekend, next weekend. So I don't know if all of you live in Utah, but ours is Friday night at, I think it starts at 6 actually. Unless you bought VIP, it starts earlier. It's downtown. If you don't live in Utah, you can find out if there's one by you. I posted the link to do that today in the team page. It's also in your back office under events. And you guys, the super weekend events should be non-negotiables for your business. You need to be to every single one. So mark those on your calendar. Get there. They're important. You'll see a lot of training from corporate coming down, and they are going to announce the Success Club trip for next year. They're going to announce a new fitness program that's coming out this summer. They're going to announce a new leadership point system. So there'll be a lot of stuff that you need to know about. So make sure you get there, okay? I know some of my coaches live out of state and they don't have one anywhere near them. The corporate video will be available afterwards. You need to make sure that you watch that. And Erin and I will make sure that we post that for you guys. So make sure you get the super weekend if you can. And the next one is usually going to be in April, and they'll announce that date as well, so you can plan ahead for next time. But I'm excited to see a bunch of you next weekend, and that'll be fun. Okay, any questions on that before I jump into my topic? No? Okay. I actually made slides tonight, so I'm going to share my screen. If I can find the right one. That's not the right one. This is the right one. Okay, can you guys see my slide? Oh, it's the wrong slide though. Just a second. Okay, so what it hit to took Success Club 12 months in a row, the first time I did it. Okay, so this is what I did. So I've been coaching, it'll be 5 years in April. And this was probably the top of my, well, the very end of my second year is when what I'm teaching you tonight went into effect. So some of the stuff I did, you can still do all of the things that I did, but we have more tools now that we didn't necessarily have then. So we can talk a little bit about the differences too. But first of all, you need to decide that you are going to be a coach. You're going to build a business and you're going to make an income. I spent a lot of time my first year and a half wondering if I really wanted to do this, if I should quit, if it was worth it, if I was making enough money for it to be worth it, if it was ever going to grow, if I was ever going to be able to build a team, because I hadn't, to that point, had any coaches sign up to be builders. I had only signed up discount coaches. So I spent a lot of energy and time just on the fence. Like, am I going to do this or am I not? Am I going to work today or am I not? And if I had just put all that energy into actually working and actually taking action, I would have gotten a lot farther than I did. So just commit to being here and take action, okay? That will make more difference to you guys than probably anything else. And if you guys have anything you want to say, just unmute yourselves and jump in. Number 2 is you have to be consistent, and you guys will hear this all the time. You'll hear it on the national wake-up calls, you'll hear it at all the events, all the training. The consistent coaches are the ones who see results. So what do you have to be consistent in? You have to post on social media at least once a day, every day. And there is an art to this, there is a skill to this, and it's something that's always changing as well. So pretty much just when you think you got it down, social media will change and you'll have to figure out something else. But sharing your story matters. So share why did you start to work out? Where were you before you signed up for a program or you signed up to coach? What was motivating you? What pain points did you have in your life that you needed to change, you needed to fix? Okay, maybe you were overweight. That's a lot of people get started there, right? For me, I was just kind of a bored stay-at-home mom. I wanted to make some extra money. I needed something that was more meaningful than changing diapers and cleaning up dry cereal off the floor. So that's kind of my story. I signed up to coach right off the bat, and I always loved fitness. Fitness for me has always been for my mental health, for my sanity. It's always been an outlet for me. It's been something that has empowered me, given me self-confidence. So I talk about those things a lot on my social media. So wherever your story is, you need to tell it. I think that we've gotten a lot better than this, but I know a lot of newer coaches, they kind of still struggle with saying, hey, I got my workout done, or hey, I love this shake, it's yummy, and then that's it. That doesn't tell your story. It doesn't go deep enough. It doesn't attract people to you. So if you're posting like that, get deeper into your story, write. Okay, some good writers on our team are Katie Barrera, Jordan Cox. They're really good writers. Dari. They write really well. They get into their story a lot. So if you need some ideas on that, you can follow them. I also posted today that Maria Miller, she's one of my newer coaches, but the way she writes in her posts tells her story really well too. So just some ideas. Be consistent in your own fitness journey. And I feel like most of you are really good at that too. Follow a program from start to finish and talk about it on social media. Be like, hey, I'm on week 3 of my 5-week program. People will follow the journey. They like to see a start and an end date. They like to see before and after pictures. And I know that those are hard to post, but one thing that did make a lot of difference for me was posting a Transformation Tuesday picture, a before and after, every single week. So it's not always mine. It's probably my picture once every month or two, whether that's a transformation from a specific program or a transformation from my 20s to my 30s or a transformation from being postpartum. There's lots of different transformations you can show, a 3-day refresh. And then when I'm not showing my own, I'm just finding other pictures from our team, pictures from other coaches, pictures from the Beachbody websites or Instagram pages. So they're everywhere. You should never have an excuse not to show a before and after. So you have to show people that our programs work, and they do work. If people follow them, they absolutely work. So you just need to show that on your page as well. Okay, this is probably one of the other most important ones. You have to sit down. You need to have business hours. You need to work your business consistently and follow the vital behaviors, okay? If you don't know what the vital behaviors are, really quick, it's to be a product of the product, which I just talked about, using Beachbody programs for your own fitness journey, doing personal development, inviting on social media, connecting, inviting, following up, adding new people to your network, and then recognizing your challengers or your coaches for the good stuff that they're getting accomplished. So there's more on that everywhere Beachbody is if you need more training on that. And then you need to run a monthly challenge group. I ran a challenge. So when I started coaching, 21 Day Fix was the hot program. That's what everyone was doing. That's probably what I sold for 2 years straight. Since it was a 3-week program, we did a week of prep, 3 weeks of the program itself, and then I started a new group. So I did 4-week groups over and over and over every single month. And one thing that did help me with Success Club, I used to start my challenge groups on the very first Monday of the month. And then I realized that it didn't give me time to hit Success Club for the people who were joining my challenge group, because they would be buying the program. Sorry, I need to mute somebody. They were buying the program in the month before, so I was like down to the wire the last week of the month trying to hit Success Club. So I moved my start dates to the 2nd or 3rd Monday of the month. That gave me 2 to 3 weeks to hit Success Club with all the people who were signing up to join my group, and that took a lot of stress out of trying to hit Success Club. You guys, this business is so much more fun when come the 15th of the month, you've already hit Success Club 6. It's just so much more fun. than when it's the 29th and you're at Success Club 2 and you're working your butt off to get 2 more people to sign up. So think about that when you're timing your groups. The other thing I did, every single month I did a free challenge. I don't have to do this anymore, which is nice, it's less work, but I did for probably 2 years straight. I did free challenges almost every single month. So if you're going to do a free challenge, make sure you keep it short, nothing more than 3 to 5 days, because you guys, it's a lot of work and you need to let your family know, hey, it's free group week. I'm going to be working a little bit more than normal, just so they know. But there's lots of different things you can do. You can do a water challenge, you can do a workout challenge, step challenge with like counting your steps for the day, clean eating. Beachbody has a 7-day program called Clean Week. You can sell for $30. You could do that. I've done crock pot groups. I've done a soup group. There's all sorts of things you can do. You can get really creative with this. Just make sure that whatever your group is, whatever your theme is, that it can be tied back to what you do with your Beachbody challenge groups, okay? So say you're doing a water challenge, you can talk about how, you know, all the benefits of drinking water, hold your people accountable to get their ounces in every day, and then you can talk about how in the Beachbody programs, you know, this is one of the first things we talk about is getting enough water. Oh, and by the way, I have one of those groups coming up, such or such date. You know, make sure people know that you have something more to give them than a 3 to 5 3-day group. And talk to them about how the accountability makes a big difference. Like, have you been more accountable because of this challenge? Well, then they're going to be that much more accountable because they paid money to do a longer challenge with you. So, and don't wait till Friday to announce that you have a paid group coming up, because the people, participation drops off. It happens to everyone. Monday, Tuesday are super strong. Wednesday's pretty good. Thursday, Friday, people start to disappear. So start talking about your groups Tuesday and Wednesday. And don't feel bad about asking people to pay money to join you for a group when you're giving them all this free value. That gives you the right to ask and to offer. So make sure you're using those. And then just give tons of value. You know, post lots of information, go live, do some live videos, hold your people accountable, maybe do a point system or something, prize drawing, stuff like that. Now with prizes, if you're gonna do prizes, keep them cheap, especially if you're not making a lot of money yet. $5 Target gift card, $10 Target gift card. You can buy those 3-pack of water bottles at Costco. They're like 3 bottles for $12. That can be your prize. Just make sure not to spend more money than you're earning. And that's a tough balance in the beginning, but nobody should have to go into the red to run this business if they're doing it the right way. So, and your prizes are tax write-offs, just so you know. Okay. Make sure that you individually invite every single person that joins your free group to your paid challenge group. You can't just post in your group and say, hey, by the way, if you want information about my next challenge group, it's a 30-day one, we'll get you a full program. Let me know if you want information, because no one's going to respond to that post. But if you go and individually message everybody and say, hey, I just wanted to personally invite you to my next challenge group. You did so awesome in our free challenge. I think you'd really love it. I would love to keep working with you. That's going to get you way more response than a generic post in your free group. So, anything anyone needs to say so far? Okay. Okay, now you guys have to do call to action posts. And I know sometimes these feel awkward or salesy, and they often do not get very much interaction, but you have to do them, because even if people aren't liking and commenting on them, it's showing them that you have something going on that they could join. And you have many different call to action posts. If you're doing free groups, you could do a call to action post to a free group. You could do one to your challenge group. You can do one to a coaching sneak peek. Those are just 3 of the main things that you should be inviting to. Now, call to action posts are those specific posts like, hey, I'm looking for 5 women who want to lose 5 to 10 pounds this month in a 6-week program, 20-minute workouts. I'll be your coach. Like, that's the kind of called, and then you like comment below for information or who wants information. Those are the call to action posts that I'm talking about. Don't worry that they don't get a ton of love. That is so normal. But like I said, it's something that just shows that you have something going on that people can join. Oh, I was going to add too. I would say do these once a week, but then you need to like slip in reminders about your challenge into your other posts. So not all of your posts need to be, hey, join me, hey, sign up, hey, do this. But you need to talk about your groups more often than once a week. It takes, typically they say like 7 to 10 times for someone to see something before they decide they want to find out more information. So if you're only posting once a week, it's not going to be quite enough. So just try to sneak it in here and there. Like tonight I tried this recipe from one of the meal plans for my group. Do you want the recipe? And oh, by the way, if you're interested in this, we're starting January 14th or whatever. So like there's ways to just kind of like sneak it in there without it being like the big like, hey, I need 10 women to join me. That makes sense. Okay, more conversations equals more sales. That's just the way it goes. So when I first started, you guys, I did hit Success Club most of the time, always, my whole career as a coach. But there were times when I was hitting like Success Club 4, Success Club 6, and then there were other coaches on my team who were hitting like 15, 20, sometimes 30, and I would message them and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And they're like, probably the same thing as you, we're just doing more of it. And I can tell you that that is absolute truth. The more conversations you have, the more yeses you'll get. So have lots of conversations, and that means connections, invites, and follow-ups. They all count as conversations. I would say I probably send the minimum 30 messages a day, sometimes 50, sometimes a little bit more depending on what I'm doing that day. But it just goes to show you, when I first started, they always were like, send 3 to 5 invites a day. That's great if that's all you can do, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. I think you need to be sending 10 invites a day minimum to consistently hit Success Club. So just make sure you're sending a lot of messages. It's the individual conversations will trump everything. They'll trump your posts. They'll trump your free groups. For me, it's the individual conversations. And I always hoped that at some point I would become that coach where people just came to me and I wouldn't have to send messages anymore. But here I am, almost 5 years in, and I'm still sending individual messages. And from what I have observed through National Wake Up Calls and all the trainings I've done with some top coaches, most coaches do send out private messages. Some of them don't. I don't think Ashley Mostead has to do that. I don't know, maybe she does. She has 2 assistants and her husband to help her run her business. But you most likely are going to have to use individual conversation to drive your business. So don't ever, like, I feel like I had the attitude when I first signed up that, okay, if I just worked for a year, then I would start making really great money and people would come to me and I could just like sit back and this would be easy. Well, that's not true. Whatever you're doing now that's working for you, you're going to be doing next month, next year. It's a lot of work, and it should be. Anything that is worth doing takes a lot of work. And if you want your business to grow, you're going to have to work your business. It's not just going to happen. Okay. Now, one of the things with inviting is to just be excited. I met with my corporate sponsor last summer, and he was like, enthusiasm is, it's our main weapon. It's like the thing that people get attracted to. I listened to a training from Ashley Mostead. If you don't know who I'm talking about, she's the #1 coach in the company right now. What she does is insane, like Success Club 100 every single month. But she was doing a training at Leadership last year, and she said something she tells her new coaches is to pretend that coaching is like getting free Taylor Swift concerts. She's a big Taylor Swift fan, right? She's like, just pretend you got 10 tickets to Taylor Swift and you get to bring people there for free. And like, you cannot believe it. You're so stoked, like you can't shut up about it. You message all your best friends, your mom, your sister, and you're like, oh my gosh, do you want to go to this concert with me? And you need to be the same way about your coaching business. I know we sometimes hesitate because we get a kickback, right? Like we make money when people sign up with us, but that part doesn't matter. Like if you love the programs and products as much as most of us do, then we shouldn't be embarrassed to share them like they are free Taylor Swift concert tickets. So your enthusiasm will make a ton of difference. If you approach people with hesitation, just saying, oh, maybe, well, if you'd like to, and I kind of love it, but, you know, if you kind of try to slide in the back door like that, people are going to they're going to pick up on that really fast. So you need to make sure that you are confident, you're convinced, you love this stuff, you're never going to quit it, that's how much you love it, and approach your invites like that and your conversations like that. And people will pick up on that. So, and then my last piece of advice is follow up like a boss. You guys, I follow up like a boss. All of my sales come from follow-ups, all of them, 100%. I almost never get that person who is meeting me or talking to me for the very first time who signs up right away. That's maybe happened 5 times in my whole coaching career. It's always the people that told me no in the beginning, told me the timing wasn't right, maybe they were interested but not right now, they didn't have the money, and I just followed up with those people. Some of them, every single month, I would follow up with them. I'd be like, hey, I have a new group starting, just want to let you know. Don't ever give up on anyone. I've had people sign up with me 2 years after my first invitation to them. And don't worry about bugging people. They will tell you if you're bugging them, or they will block you, or they will unfollow you. And that is totally okay. Don't worry about that. Don't feel like you're offending people. Most of the time, people saw their messages and they forgot, were thinking about it. They saw your message and they were like, oh, I don't know. They weren't like in that place where they wanted to say, no, I'm not interested, or yes, I'm interested. So they just didn't say anything. Okay, does that make sense? Think about your own behavior when you get messages, when you get texts, when you get a phone call, but you need to call someone back. You just don't get around to it, right? So you're just that person who's giving that friendly reminder like, hey, did you get my message? Hey, did you still want to sign up for this challenge? Hey, the sale's ending tonight. Just wanted to let you know. That's what following up is, okay? Just follow up until people tell you to get lost or they sign up, because the squeaky wheel is the one who gets the oil. You have to be persistent in this business, and you have to be unapologetic about it. Just go for it, especially if you're in a place like me where I'm mostly working with my cold market, people I don't actually know in real life. Like, I don't care if they unfollow me or block me, because if they don't want to work with me on the fitness or the coaching level, then the most we're going to be is social media friends. And I don't, that's not as big of a loss to me. However, finding those women who do want to work with me, who do want to be a part of my team, those women are gold, and they are worth sifting through all the uninterested women to get to. So when you are in that place where you're inviting a bunch of strangers, just remember that one woman who signs up with you is going to be worth the 10 to 20 no's that it took you to find her. Okay, these are some things you guys can work on. Build your skill set. Get good at leading conversations to help people see that what you are offering is the solution that you're looking for, okay? So that takes some skill, that takes some good question asking, that takes some good listening. That also takes knowing how to use the tools in your back office. The videos that Beachbody does for us will sell the programs for you. So use them. Those 2-minute promotional videos on all the programs, I use them almost every single time someone is interested in a program. So get familiar with them. They're in the back office. They're under the orange tab that says Grow My Business, and then it's under shareable media, okay? It is a gold mine. Make sure you're familiar with it. Get good at overcoming objections. You know, people say they don't have time, they don't have money, they're just going to stick with running, they don't need help with their nutrition. Just get good at helping them see their way around the excuse that they're coming up with. And that takes skill as well. One method I'll tell you about really quick, and this is like my whole other call on talking to people, so we can go more into depth when I do that, but is the feel, felt, found method. So someone says, oh, I just can't afford that right now. You guys, I said that when I was first approached about Beachbody programs. So I would say, oh, I felt the exact same way. I thought no way that I would spend that much on a fitness program. And my husband was even more so that way. But as I saw my friends signing up and getting amazing results, and I learned more about everything that was included, I found that it actually was a really good deal. Okay, that's kind of like the feel, that's just a quick example. Be patient. This business takes time to build. You can't say you're going to be here for 6 months or 12 months and expect the moon. It takes much longer than that. I know they don't say it as much as they used to, but when I first started, they said, just be here a year from now. Like, oh, if you just like don't quit, 12 months from now, you'll be making bank, you'll have lots of customers. It doesn't work that way. If you have worked for 12 months, you probably will have rank advanced. You'll probably be hitting Success Club. You'll probably be making enough to at least pay for your own products plus a little extra. That's what I would hope for you. But that's way more realistic than thinking you're going to be some 10-star superstar who makes 6 figures. That's not going to happen in a year. So you have to have some grit. You have to stick it out. You have to be a patient hustler. You have to remind yourself that this is a crock pot business and not a microwave business. And if you just stick with it, it will be better than giving up, I promise. I've seen so many coaches come and go in my last 5 years. So many coaches come and go. But where I'm sitting now, it's all been worth it. I'm so grateful for this. I'm making way better money. Well, I shouldn't say way better, but I am making more money now than I did at my last full-time job. I am a 1-star diamond. I get to go to National Leader Conference this year, which I'm super excited about, even though I'm going to be ginormously pregnant and hope I don't go into labor on the plane. Anyways, and then I'm building this amazing team. I've had so many amazing women sign up with me in the last 2 years. If I had given up in those first 2 years when nobody would join me to build the business, I would have missed out on all these amazing women that have come to me in the last 2 years. So I promise, work hard, be patient, hustle, but don't ever give up on anyone, because you just never know. Okay, I have one more slide, and we have 9 minutes left, so I think I'm going to make it. Okay, this is important, and this is something that took me a long time to understand, is you have to have a good mindset. People would tell me that when I was trying so hard to go diamond, like so hard, I couldn't even see how it was possible. I'd been emerald forever. You guys, I was an emerald coach for like 2 years. And people just kept saying, oh, you just need to change your mindset. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, what's wrong with my mindset? But when I finally got to the better mindset, I could look back and I could be like, oh, okay, that's what they were talking about. So you have to have a Success Club mindset to hit Success Club. Okay, you have to have an abundance mindset and not a scarcity mindset. I totally had a scarcity mindset my whole life. Now, scarcity mindset is that mindset that there's not enough money to go around. I'm not one of the lucky people. I'm always going to be middle class. I'm always just going to have this average life. I'm just not one of those blessed people who have all the hookups and the good luck. And you know what I mean? Like, if someone else had some success, that somehow depleted the pool of success available for the rest of us. It's kind of like when my mom would bring home treats from the grocery store and we would all like grab our share, because if we didn't, someone else was going to eat it and it was going to be gone. Now, abundance mindset is like, you know what, there is so much good in the world. There is enough fortune and success and money to go around. That approach will serve you so much better. So when you come up on someone and they've tried Beachbody and they're not interested, or they already have a coach, they just tell you no, If you approach that with an abundance mindset, like, okay, that's cool, there's plenty of other people for me to help, that's going to serve you so much more than you feeling so bad that that person already has a coach. Okay. Second, do not give off the vibe that you need the sale. They can smell that from a million miles away. They can smell it through your computer, through your Instagram messaging. If you are desperate for a sale, someone will know that. And I learned this the hard way. There was one month in my business, it was March. I remember March is always tougher for me for some reason. And I needed Success Club, but I didn't want to work at all. Like, I was just in that place where I'm like, oh, just buy your stupid program already so I can get my Success Club points and I can move on with my life. I was super grumpy. I had some stressful stuff going on in my life. And I had some people who were interested, but they just weren't pulling the trigger. And I just found myself like honing in on those 2 or 3 people, like, oh my gosh, just order already. And I decided after that I was never going to be that person. I wasn't going to run my business that way. I wasn't going to approach people that way. And I was never going to need a sale ever again. And that has made all the difference. Okay. So act like the coach who doesn't need the sale, even if you need it. And I know some of you do. Just act like you're that $1 million coach who just doesn't need that sale. You're just honestly offering out of the goodness of your heart. And if it works out for them, great. You'd love to help. And you're going to help them see through their excuses and their fears. But ultimately, it's up to them. You have to be emotionally disconnected from the sale. If you are emotionally attached to the sale, this business is going to stress you out like crazy. Okay? You need to like serve and love with all your heart, but ultimately, if that person decides not to buy, it's like nothing on you. You're going to be fine, doesn't matter, and you'll just go help the next person, okay? But you'll follow up with that person the next month because that's how they eventually come around. You have to believe in our products, programs, and the prices that we offer people. I think one of the things that really held me back as a coach in the beginning is because I felt like Shakeology was so expensive. But once I came around to believe in the pricing of it, you guys, our challenge packs are like mind-blowingly cheap. They are so cheap. And once you guys get your brains around how much value we offer people, especially with Beachbody On Demand, you guys, I used to sell programs on DVD. People would get 8 workouts for $60. Or they would buy a challenge pack, which is the same price it is now for $160. They'd only get those 8 workouts on DVD. And now they get Beachbody On Demand and they get 30-something programs. It's ridiculous, you guys. Ridiculous what they can get with the Beachbody On Demand challenge packs, okay? If you have a hard time with Shakeology, listen to the Shakeology podcast by Darren Aline and the corporate people at Beachbody, and you will understand why it costs so much more than protein shakes, okay? So if this is something you struggle with, work on this. This is something in your own mind, and it vibrates out to the people that you're talking to. They can sense it, they can feel it. So if this is something you need to work on, make sure you work on it, okay? Because something changed when I started to believe in our prices, especially. I used to explain, you know, everything they're getting, and I'd say, and it's $160, and I'd cringe and I'd push send, and I would just wait for them to be like, oh my gosh, that's too much money. That's what I did in the beginning. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, you get this and this and this, and it's only $160, 5 exclamation points. Can you believe it? And I send that. Can you guys see the difference? It makes all the difference when you're talking to people. I do sometimes still get the people who can't afford it, but they're the people who I know legit cannot afford it. They're probably on food stamps. And if I sell them a $200 challenge pack when they're on food stamps, then I'm the jerk, okay? But there are other people who can afford almost anything they want if they prioritize and save. And if you believe in the prices and you explain really well what they're getting and the value and the solution it can be for them, you're going to get way less money objections, okay? The most convinced person wins a conversation, and that goes along with what I was just saying. That's something that Brigitte has taught me. The most convinced person in any conversation will win. Okay, think about guys, how they fight about their sports teams, right? They're convinced their team is the best, and there's no way you're going to change their mind, and they will talk circles about it all around and around and around, but they're convinced, and there's nothing you can say. So if you're convinced that Beachbody has one of the best solutions for weight loss, fitness, health, then you're going to win the conversation, okay? And leave people with love, you guys. If they tell you no, that's all right. I'm here when you need me. I'm here when the timing's right. Still comment and love on their posts. Don't be that jerk salesman that's like, oh my gosh, I'm so done with this person because they told me no. Or the jerk salesperson that bullies and bullies and bullies until a person either says yes because you've made them feel so bad, or they hate your guts, okay? Don't be that person. Be the person who is there to serve and to love and to offer solutions no matter what they decide, okay? The decision is theirs. You're just here to help and to leave them better than you found them, whether they're interested in working with you or not, okay? I can't believe I talked that much, not having enough air to breathe with this baby sitting on my lungs, but I'm done. So, does anyone have anything they would want to say? No?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, like how you talked about the price of Shakeology and like the price of stuff you get and all that stuff and having to be confident, that's actually how I hit SC2. I mean, although it wasn't huge, but, SC4, was it in November? Was just purely because I did that whole thing where it was just like, this is what you're getting for $160, because one of the girls was like, oh no, but the rec center, I only pay like $23 a month per person. And it's like, well, yeah, but in the long run, you're paying over $200 a year. And you're getting a whole bunch of stuff that you're not even using. Like, yeah, you have the pool, but you don't like swimming. You have the weight room, but you're not even using that. So that's helped me. Of course, I haven't hit Success Club yet this month, but just some of the tips that you were talking about, I know that I need to be more confident in my follow-up. I know that's my biggest issue. It's just as soon as I get I'm not sure. It's just like, oh, okay, well, I'm here, but I need to be better at following up.